Hey there, Aries. Welcome to your reading for the week of October 31st. This week, you start off in your current general energies with this originality in this lust card here. And I feel for some of you, just have like this thirst for something new to enter into your life. And we see this throughout the spread here. You even have the Ten of Cups. I'm just noticing, a lot of cards that could kind of represent an ending, but also some cards that really could represent a new beginning or a very strong new beginning as well. You have the Ace of Pentacles. But I kind of feel as we move throughout the reading that there is something that is maybe holding you back, or you feel is holding you back a little bit from getting what you really want in life. And it's like you're thinking about ways to release it. Let's see what we can come up with here on how you can release this. But I feel you have this like thirst for I'm getting like new knowledge, and this lust card could represent love, and we do see a lot of love here in the reading, but that's not like the only thing that I'm really getting here. You have the Queen of Swords, the Ten of Cups, and the Four of Swords. I feel you see why something had to come to an end in your recent past. Could be love, but doesn't have to be. Again, it's almost like you see why something that maybe did bring you enjoyment had to come to an end. Or I also feel for others that you're seeing how you can transform a situation. It's kind of interesting because I don't really like when I get two stories in a reading because I feel like it can confuse the reading. But I do feel for a lot of you, or for some of you, it's like you're ending something. If you're not ending something, I would say that you're transforming something. And maybe you're finally getting some answers. And I kind of feel like these are answers that sweep you off your feet. It's no mistake, I think, that you have the Knight of Cups here. But I don't even think that has to do with love. I think sometimes if you've ever had a really good idea, Aries, it's like it kind of takes your breath away. It makes you very happy. Or you're just like, oh my God, I know that this is the right thing for me to do. And I kind of get that with the Ten of Cups, where for those of you that have been like trying to create your Ten of Cups, which is your happily ever after, this could be love, but it could also just be business success. It could be whatever you see as, an accomplishment in your life or something that brings happiness into your life, whatever that is for you. I kind of feel you're getting some ideas on how to get more of this, to get more Ten of Cups, to get more happiness, to get more enjoyment. And I feel, again, it's funny that on that lust card, it's like I don't really feel lust, like love in that sense. I get it as more of like a thirst for, adventure, or like a thirst for creating more happiness. And again, sometimes I think we accomplish something and it looks like maybe you're accomplishing something small, or you already have in like work or business or some other area of your life. And because of that, it's like you have a craving for more. And that's pretty much the best way I can describe what I'm feeling here. You also have the Four Swords. Four Swords is a card of recovery. I just feel that pretty much, Mars retrograde, I would do, your ruling planet is retrograde. So I would take those moments to like rest, relax, recover, do things that kind of fulfill you, that keep you healthy and all that other stuff. You even, going this direction here, you go up to the Queen of Wands. And the Queen of Wands, she can kind of represent like health through activity. I always tell people with Mars retrograde, like I would be careful of, obviously, doing backflips or anything crazy like that. But, for the most part, I would do what you can to stay healthy. Let's see. With the Queen of Swords, what do you know? I knew that a card like this was going to show up because I was getting major completion vibes on the Ten of Cups. Again, I read intuitively. Ten of Cups does not necessarily represent completion, but that's really what that card was saying to me, is like the ending of a cycle. And that's what we talked about in the beginning of the reading. So there's definitely a big new beginning coming in for you here, something that makes you very happy. But, it's not really the start. I think that, again, that you're seeing how to turn things around in your life, especially for those of you in work or business, but could also be love, take it how it resonates. With the Ten of Cups, you have the King of Pentacles. A lot of kings here, or actually you have two so far, but I'm noticing a lot of kings and queens, a lot of this like royal energy showing up here. It's interesting because I kind of feel this is your energy. I feel it's really talking about accomplishment energy. It's not so much popping into my head as, like people or anything else. I feel you're just like accomplishing a lot, or you are focusing on creating accomplishments. With the Four Swords, you do have the Lovers here. I just want to see what else you have here. Again, some of you could have the choice between like an air sign or a fire sign, or it could be like an air sign or a water sign. And I kind of am picking up on that. There's like definitely an air sign if you have a choice to make, and then one of the other, fire or water. Take it how it resonates. But I feel like you kind of have a choice to make. And, I feel for some of you, you're going to be picking the new path with the Lovers card. The Lovers to me represents new love. I know a lot of people say that the Lovers doesn't represent new love, but if you actually read about it, it definitely represents new love. So there you go. But I do feel like some of you are picking kind of like a new path here. Next, in the area of the unexpected, you have this key card. It says locked doors can now be open. See, part of me feels like the time is right, and maybe that's why certain things are working out for you. And you also have this green man card. It says the forces of nature favor you. So again, it's almost as if the timing is right. Sometimes I've heard stories from people before where it's like they try to make a certain amount of money and they can't, and people around them are making money, but they're not making money. But then maybe like a couple of years later, all of a sudden they start making money. I'm like, yeah, the timing probably wasn't right. So now this is popping to my head as not necessarily anything unexpected in your life. I just feel that you've kind of learned everything you need to learn in a certain stage of life, and the door that's opening is a new stage of life or your next stage in life. You have the Temperance card, the King of Cups, and the Emperor here. Kind of interesting because I feel like you've learned something here. It's like some sort of secret sauce or some sort of, I don't want to call it a trick because I don't believe it's a trick. I believe that this is something that is earned. Again, a trick suggests something that is tricky, that lets you get away with something, right? But I feel in like business or work, maybe you have shortened up the way you do things or things are becoming easier. But again, I think this is a result of knowledge. It's not a result of like some sort of trick. It could seem like a trick that you are learning or some secret sauce, but it's almost like you're discovering a process. For others, I do feel like you're turning a situation around. Again, you have this wheel card at the end. You have two other cards that I can't see, of course. We'll look at that in a minute, but there could be some endings and new beginnings coming in for you, but I also feel like you've learned something here. You have the King of Cups. I feel like you need to follow your heart. Pretty much everyone does. Everybody's been getting something about really needing to listen to what your heart says deep down inside. Again, he has very deep emotions, the King of Cups. He's sitting in the middle of the ocean. This is meant to represent a whale over here, not a fish. And so, again, it kind of represents the deep emotions that he has. So I kind of feel you need to move towards your feelings. And we even see that right here, going up to the Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands, she moves towards the things that she desires in her life. She doesn't really need anything else. If she wants to do something, that's enough for her. She's going to go and do it. And again, everybody's pretty much had similar readings. And I think it's just the energy that we're dealing with. You show up in a very strong position here. So again, kind of leads me to believe that there is nothing unexpected coming in for you. It's kind of funny because for the most part, there hasn't been anything unexpected coming in for anyone for like the past 2 weeks. So it's not that there can't be surprises, but as far as like something big, major in your life is concerned, I don't think there are any major surprises. Could also be a water sign, again, coming in for you. I feel like you've had a water sign for the past few weeks. But here you go. With the Temperance card, you have the Knight of Cups. Again, I would say if you're dealing with a new person, I would be patient with this person. Kind of striking me that you maybe come from two different worlds with the Temperance card showing up here. Temperance has 1 foot in the water, 1 foot on land. So, I kind of feel if you're attracting a new person, whether they're a water sign or not, doesn't matter. It could be any sign that you're attracting, but it's like there's some sort of difference that I'm picking up on here with between the water and the land. The thing with the Temperance card is that there's this path back here. And that is the path to glory back here. And it kind of just represents like the path to everything that you want and desire to have in a situation. You have the power to turn things around. So maybe there's an obstacle that you have to overcome with a person. Could be communication in the first place. That's kind of what I feel intuitively. Is that maybe you haven't communicated with this person or vice versa. Maybe they haven't communicated with you. Take it how it resonates. We're going to see. With the King of Cups, you have the Seven of Pentacles. It's kind of interesting. I feel like you're dealing with a person. Again, if you have your eye on a person, I feel they're kind of in between something. Maybe they're in between relationships. Maybe they're in between two worlds, but they're kind of creating changes in their own life. So I definitely wouldn't rush this. For others of you, I just feel this is asking you to stay open to different ways of doing things. Pretty much every single fire sign gets us in their readings for some reason. But what I would say is that the Seven of Pentacles, he's like kind of looking at everything he's grown and he's saying, is the juice worth the squeeze? So I feel you need to make sure that the things that you're working on, I'm kind of getting a weird message here because it's not usually how I read the Seven of Pentacles, but what I'm getting is that I feel like you need to make sure the way you're doing things is actually getting the most out of whatever it is that you're doing. I also would focus on quality as well. You're born very close to Taurus, Aries, obviously. And with Uranus and Taurus, I've been saying it, there's kind of like a little bit of this subtle energy, I feel, that exists with Uranus and Taurus that really, really wants us to focus on like creating high quality whatever we're doing. If it's like work that you're doing, make sure you're doing it with the intention of increase, right? As one of my favorite books of all time by Wallace Wattles, The Science of Getting Rich, he says that we should be doing everything with the thoughts of increase for the people that we're helping or for the people that we're doing things with. And I don't know, it's kind of popping into my head there. With the Emperor, you have the Queen of Swords. Definitely dealing with an earth sign for some of you. If it's not an earth sign, this person's like an air sign. I feel like this person definitely either has like an air rising or an air moon or something big like that, or just a bunch of planets in air. And so I feel you see things clearly in a situation. And again, for some of you, I feel you're clearly moving towards something new here. It's kind of funny that you have the cat card and this dog card, the cats and dogs at the end. And it is popping into my head that some of you could have been dealing with a person where it's like cats and dogs. Maybe you fight like cats and dogs or something. Or maybe there's just a difference where maybe you're a dog with a cat or a cat with a dog and you need a cat or a dog. And I'm talking about a person energetically, not an actual cat or a dog, although it could be. Next, what are we doing? Oh yeah, what's coming towards you? You have this turtle card. It says slowness and protection. Again, take your time if you're entering into anything new. You have the scarab. It says nourishment, transformation. We talked all about transformation. And you also have this wheel, endings and beginnings. So there are clearly some new beginnings coming in for you. I get a major focus on transforming things in this reading. And I don't want to beat a dead horse here, but I feel some of you, it's like I'm getting anything in every single way you could possibly think of to transform anything in your life. I would be doing it. I feel for whatever, and you even have this, look, you have this chameleon right here on this lust card. So I get this feeling that the universe really wants you to kind of think about anything that you would like to see transform in your life. Could be anything, your job, your business, your relationships. I feel like it's kind of like everything is what I'm getting here. And I really feel the universe is saying, transform it. Now is the time. You have the Queen of Wands, the Knight of Cups, and the Nine of Cups here. The Nine of Cups kind of suggests that if there's something you want, you can have it. He is sitting here in front of these cups, and he is meant to look chubby, as I always say. The whole point of the Nine of Cups is that he's meant to look like he's had a feast, and he's about to have a feast again. So it kind of suggests that he is having a feast because he's had it before. And so it says you have to bathe in an energy to get some of the things that you want and desire in your life. And it kind of asks you to soak up the energy of what you want. So if you want love, be in love. If you want money, be in abundance, right? And I would definitely recommend that. Again, I've been getting this a lot, but again, I feel it has a lot to do with Uranus and Taurus. Uranus and Taurus is all about values. And so if we value something, even just energetically, if we think about something and we feel it in our heart at the same time that we value something, then we're just going to attract it very quickly into our life. So I would definitely do it. You have the Knight of Cups here. It could be a Knight in Shining Armor. I feel like this is a choice. Someone has a choice here. We see this right here. He's like literally putting his cup out to this Two of Pentacles here, Aries. So it's like, for some of you, I wonder if you've dealt with a person who's juggled or is juggling in the past, or I kind of feel like this person is, a person you could be attracting has dealt with juggling in the past, and they're trying to make a decision here. But I would just say I'm getting a pretty clear answer that making a clear offer is all that you need to do. So if you're like moving towards a new person, or if you want to connect with a new person, I feel like just being clear with what your expectations are in the relationship would be a good idea, because I feel that's what will work, plain and simple. I also feel that pretty much all of you are being swept off your feet by an idea. Like let's say you have a business. I feel you could be discovering an idea that really kind of provides like a lot more customers or a lot more traffic. It's popping into my head as traffic. So maybe you have an internet business or something. Same thing in your career. It's like maybe you have to reach certain milestones or certain numbers. Knight of Cups can kind of be a card of milestones or numbers, because he could easily plant seeds in front of him. He's standing in the desert. He feels like there's nothing more he can do, but all he has to do is plant seeds in front of that water. So even though he's in the desert, there's still opportunity. So even if you feel there's no opportunity, there definitely is. You also have the Queen of Wands. This is the energy I would embrace, is like bravery. I keep saying to everyone that I really truly believe that fortune favors the bold, pretty much for everyone right now. So again, things are scary, and mostly because I think there's a lot of unknown energy, like what's going to happen in the future. It's like we are dealing with inflation. Are we going to have money? Are we going to have food? Like all these things, right, are kind of jumping into our awareness, but we kind of have to ignore that, I think. And I'm not suggesting, people always get mad when I say that, and I'm like, I'm not suggesting you ignore reality, although actually I am, because it's like paying attention to it is certainly not going to do anything, right? I think we have to take control of our own lives at this time, and I believe that's what the Queen of Wands is asking you to do. With the Queen of Wands, you have the Queen of Cups. Yeah, look at this. King and Queen of Cups, definitely divine counterparts coming in for you here if you desire love. And again, it doesn't matter what gender you're attracted to here. I feel that if you want love, there could be a true love offer coming in for you. It's almost as if you see this. I kind of feel if you have your eye on a person, it's almost as if you already see the future with that Queen of Cups. She's holding that cup and she is looking at it. So I feel like some of you, it's almost as if you're seeing the future in a situation. This could also be in business. Look at this. Are you kidding me? With the Knight of Cups, you have the King of Wands. You have the King and Queen of Wands right next to each other. And so, there is definitely a very deep emotional connection, but not only is it emotional, I feel like there's a lot of desire here as well. As far as like divine counterparts are concerned, I definitely think that King of Wands is probably one of the better cards. You also have the King of Pentacles, which is pretty much my favorite for those of you looking for something long-term. This energy is very good. Even though we have a lot of kings here, I kind of feel this is all just one situation. And again, it doesn't matter what gender you're attracted to. I feel it could be any gender. We have 3 queens here as well, so, pretty much the same, which is pretty interesting. I would definitely be careful of gossip as well. I will say that in readings, I'm not a big fan of 3 queens because 3 queens can represent gossip, jealousy, things like that. And again, with Mars retrograde, I tell people to avoid that at all cost. With the 9 of Cups, you have the Wheel of Fortune. You have the Wheel and the Wheel of Fortune and the World. Definitely ending some cycles, taking control of your destiny. You're definitely feeling more in control these days as well, Aries. And this could be starting actually, pretty much in November. I know this is for the week of October 31st, but, I don't know. I kind of feel like as we get into November, maybe even like the second week of November, you're going to start feeling like you have control over your life or control over your destiny. Pretty powerful stuff. At the end here, for messages from your future self, you have this cat. It says a two-faced friend. You also have dogs. It says getting together with friends. But it's kind of funny that I see this as cats and dogs. I realize that it is, but, I feel for some of you, maybe a past person, it was just like you're a dog and they're a cat, always at each other's throat or something like that. So if you're attracting love, I feel like you're attracting a person where either you're a cat and they're a cat or you're a dog and they're a dog, right? It's like, take it how it resonates, but I kind of feel like you're attracting someone where it's like you get along more with a new person because you're like the same, right? For others, it's kind of funny because if you're in a relationship, I also feel that you could be overcoming some differences. Here you have the Devil, but you have the Two of Pentacles, which is like willing to put in the work to fix the obstacle or the challenge. Again, this is advice from your future self. So this is not something that's like set in stone. This is what your future self is suggesting that you work on at this time. So you have the Ace of Pentacles, the Two of Pentacles, and the Devil. Again, with these 2 cards here, I would suggest kind of working together with your person if you have a person. This to me is your future self basically saying that if you have a person, you can easily overcome anything toxic in your life. For others, I feel that you could be seeing a past person as toxic and you're just moving on to something new. It's pretty, pretty self-explanatory. I feel like your future self is also encouraging you to kind of put the work in if you have a person. On top of that, Two of Pentacles is like work hard, play hard. And I definitely feel that some of you need to balance this out. Again, it's been coming up a lot for you, I think. And the other thing is Mars retrograde. It's like one of those things, if we're trying to force things to happen during Mars retrograde and we're not taking time to fill our cups, for example, then we're just going to be super tired. We're going to be super exhausted. And maybe we're going to have other issues as well. So I always encourage people, it doesn't mean Mars retrograde doesn't say don't work hard. And as I always say, I don't think astrology controls our life and we shouldn't allow it to either. But what I would say is I would make sure you're just balancing it out with the Two of Pentacles. You have the Ace of Pentacles here. There's a really big opportunity coming in for you. For a lot of you, I feel like it's love. Could be a Gemini or a water sign. Could be a water sign with Gemini, Gemini with water in their chart. Definitely standing out to me. You have a lot of water here. So regardless, I would say what doesn't matter what sign it is. I feel like it's a very intuitive connection, and that's probably something that will stand out to you if you are meeting a new person. Is that maybe you just connect on an intuitive level? Maybe you're finishing each other's sentences. How cute is that, Aries, or something else like that? I don't know. Maybe you dream about each other or whatever. And there you go. If this could also be a business thing. It's kind of interesting because in work or business, it's almost like I feel like you're discovering like it's like a step-by-step process is what I'm getting here. That's not what I totally believe, but I feel like you're maybe discovering some new ways of doing things in your business, and there is a process behind what you're doing. And I feel like if this message is for you, it'll make sense. So there you go. It's going to be very successful for you. With the Ace of Pentacles, you have the Three of Swords. There is something completing here. I'm not even worried about this Three of Swords because I do feel that something is being completed. Could be ending a past relationship. Again, we have a lot of people here, so you could be breaking someone's heart, but I don't even feel like it's yours. I would also watch your health. With the Two of Pentacles, you have the Five of Wands. Again, I would work on any conflict. I felt that right away, that your future self is encouraging you to kind of work on any conflicts that you could be dealing with in your life. Remember what I was saying? That it's almost as if that Two of Pentacles is kind of saying put the work into something to fix it. So if you have any conflicts in your life, I would be working on them. Or if you're in conflict with a person, I kind of feel this is saying there is a middle ground, or maybe there is something where you two could come together with this energy, and I would definitely do that with the Five of Wands. With the Devil, you have the Two of Wands. A lot of people getting the Two of Wands this week, which is pretty interesting. I kind of wonder if really we're kind of passing through a portal in some ways, even though we have a million retrogrades at the end of the year here. I still feel we could be making some progress. So it looks like progress. This whole entire reading looks amazing and looks like progress to me for you, Aries. So love it. We're going to pull 3 yes/no question cards now. If you don't have questions, that's fine as well. I'm going to put all 3 together at the end and just read them as one thing. So 1, 2, 3. Feel free to pause the reading if you need to. And for question number 1, hell yes. You have the Chariot. Definitely a victory coming in for you. We see a lot of victory energy here. Obviously, you're going to have to work for it, but it looks pretty good. And again, don't be afraid to invest in the Knight of Cups. It's like you could have some ideas to do something, but maybe you're not seeing a lot of opportunity. But also, I feel like you're not seeing the opportunity because it's kind of like what do you call that? A paradox or something. It's like I feel like you're not seeing the opportunity and you're not seeing the opportunity. So I would kind of look into something where maybe it looks like a desert, but you want to invest time into it. For question number 2, yes, you have the Three of Pentacles. If you're willing to work together is definitely popping into my head. So yes. And for question number 3, you have the King of Wands. Yes, you showing up in a very strong position. So I kind of feel that this is you. And if you're, by the way, if you're trying to move, I do feel like some of you could be moving here, putting this all together, Wheel, the World, Wheel of Fortune as well. But this looks pretty good, Aries. So thank you for being here and definitely enjoy your week.